Howdy! How are you? Welcome back, Leslie Hassler, your Biz Rules business coaching. We have a fun topic today. I think it's a fun topic. I know one of the when I hear business owners talk about what they're learning, what they realized about their business, there's one thing that just seems to come through is they're really realizing the value of the relationships in the business, the value of a relationship with their clients. Whereas maybe they were trying to maybe automate more to be able to go through more leads and produce more leads. What they're finding is really there was a lot of value in those relationships. And I will tell you, hands down, you have to do both. You have to have that automation and you have to have the relationship, because at the end of the day, we're really buying mostly from people. There are a lot of the technology and kind of software as a service systems that are out there dehumanize that element. But some of the greatest stories that I've seen come out have been about community, being the business owners and their clients and the community that surrounds them. So we're getting a lot of community support. And so I thought today we'd just talk a little bit about how do you do that? Like, how do you really build and maintain business relationships? I have one of my clients to her, hands down, her personal networking is one of the most significant areas of leads for her business. And so now that there's not networking groups to go to and, people to run into and schedule lunches with and do that kind of relationship marketing, we're having to come up with some new ways to be able to market to people and really keep those relationships going. So I want to talk a little bit about that, why it's hard, what we're up against right now. We've hit summer, and we always hit summer, business owners especially, always hit summer brain. And I think partly that's because our families are home, our kids are home. Most of us have kids varying ages, right? And that puts more demands onto our schedule. So our brain maybe goes to another area. But obviously, right now, I can't even begin to tell you how frustrating today was. At one point in time, I was trying to record a video for something a little earlier, and my son was whistling in the room next door, which was terribly endearing, lovely. But I was trying to record, and I kept going, Christian, stop whistling. And he just didn't hear me. So it did take me 3 times of recording to not have somebody yelling down the hall, whistling, the dog barking, all those distractions that I know you're going through as well. I do think Zoom fatigue is really real. One of my friends and colleagues, Georgia Green, was talking about Zoom fatigue and why that is. And it was so funny. She's like, because we talk louder, you push more energy through. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally understand what she's saying, because I am in an effort to communicate with you, because I can't see you. I'm energetically pushing a lot to get through the screen. So I actually today moved my mic much closer so that I'm not feeling like I have to really reach, because my mic's sitting over off to the side of the computer. So all of these things are real. Let's just be honest, but it's still going to be important to build these relationships. So we've got businesses that are in a couple of different categories, if you will. You are either in a place where your customers are still buying, or you are in a place where your customers are timidly, cautiously buying, or they're not buying, right? And it really is dependent upon what's happening in their world. In no way, shape, or form should you not be talking to your clients, even if the sale right now isn't the most appropriate thing. And I'll challenge you on that idea as well. But I understand there's some circumstances where that sale, asking for a sale and working the sale, may not be the most appropriate thing right now. It's my child calling me. Just saying. You think if I didn't answer, somebody would know. So I'm just going to put it on mute. But There are areas where, the sales conversation may not be appropriate, but there really is not an area where the conversation isn't appropriate. So one of the first things I know, week one, I almost feel like we should number our weeks, right? Week one, I told every single client is get on the phone, talk to every single one of your client, every single one of your past clients, all your prospective clients, start calling now. Check in, see how things are going, see what their biggest need is, ask them if they need something, not that they have to buy from you, but do you need a connection? Do you need a resource? I saw this, yada, 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 whatever that is. It really is about cementing the fact that you're more than just the deal, right? You're more than just the money part of it. And that was easy to do in March, but now it's July. Don't know where it's all flown by, right? So now it's July. And that could start to feel a little weird, but it's not. Right now, what I see so many business owners doing is actually emailing over calling. You've got time to call. It's time to smile and dial, right? To pick up the phone call and check in, because so many of your other competitors or people down the street from you, they're not. They're wrapped up in the mind game part of the fear and uncertainty and unsurety that's happening. I was working on it this morning myself, so it's real, right? But be uncommon in how you communicate to your entire community. If you have a long list of clients, great. You can divvy it up among some staff members. You've probably had some PPP money that's paying for some staffing. That really is just about building your future base, because when you do come back, and you will come back, I have no doubt, I have full faith that we're coming back. I don't know when, right? And I don't know how, but I do think it's going to take a little time. And I do think it's going to be slow. I think we'll have an element of pent up demand, and then we'll come through and be able to see a slow rebuild. But we're honestly, I think we're looking at 6 months to a year for a lot of ways. So Ebony, hi Ebony, how are you? So smile and dial. I love it. I know it, and it makes you smile, doesn't it? It's funny. So you just go, I'm just going to smile and dial. You can get the little Southern accent on there, make it a little cheesy, so that you get some fun, because I know it's not comfortable. But even when I'm smiling and dialing and I am resistant to it because I'm nervous, I will write it out. I will write out a little script. Guys, here's the crazy thing. If I show you what's on my desk, this is a script. This is the script for today's Zoom or today's live, right? I've got one of these for every day that I do it. I write like crazy. See, and it's not even like formal. I had to I had to rewrite this because I wrote it story form, right? And so then I had to rewrite it note form. It's just, my desk is covered with them. And if that's what you need to give yourself a little structure, then do it. It's easy peasy, right? And then once you get into the conversation, a natural rhythm would come along. Most of these people, even if you don't know, they're going to be just, I don't know, even thrilled to hear from you. Can you imagine if you've got, let's say you're a restaurant and you've got your regulars, your people that they're always there, and maybe they're signed up on your list, and you just gave them a call and you said, hey, Ebony, since I see your name, I just want to say thanks so much for, being one of our clients. I know it's kind of crazy out there. How are you? How are you? Right? Well, okay. Is there anything you need? No. Yeah, I'm for real. Right? You can hear this conversation happening. So you just need to do this. You don't really need a reason. Sometimes, when we're working on like a 7-touch marketing plan, we talk about having reasons to call or reasons to talk. And there are ways that you can do that for sure. But I don't think right now you even really need a reason. I think people are truly missing personal connection and truly missing that ability to connect with each other. I will say, here's another idea for you. Mix a little business and pleasure. Yelly Belly Chocolates. They're out on Eventbrite. She's local chocolatier here in Dallas, and she's been a NABA member, Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Alumni. She's doing virtual tastings. Well, how fun is that? right? To where she sends you your chocolates and your pairings, and I mean we're paying to do that, but it's a little fun. So what if I invited a client and I paid for their tasting, right? I can't take them out to dinner at this point in time, or I could, but with the way things are here in Texas, that's a little harder to do, or maybe not as safe at the moment that as other things. Whereas there are these interesting ways of things that are happening out there where people are doing virtual tastings that you can experience together, right? Again, that's a relationship building moment. Granted, you're not next to each other, totally get that. But everyone's stress level is so high right now. I was out and about today and I was getting frustrated because everybody else is frustrated, right? So we need to be able to bring in these moments of relief, of joy that create some positive memories, because you want to be the person that they remember, right? When it's time to buy again, you want to be that person. The other thing I will say is that by making these touch points and these relationship building activities a part of your schedule, you'll also have a habit of stumbling into opportunity. And it's priceless when you do that. It won't happen all the time, but it's amazing, especially if you ask that one question of what is it that you need the most today? What's the biggest problem, the biggest stress that you have that I might be able to help with? Whether it's connection or resource, or, just somebody to give you feedback on an idea. If I can be that for you, I would love it. Right? If you are able to do that for somebody, it is amazing what opportunities kind of pop up. Oh, now that you speak of it, I'm glad you're here, right? So don't stop talking. The last thing you can do is go silent. That you're just giving your competition the opportunity to open up the door and build a relationship that you have already built. And that's some of the most expensive marketing that there is. Priceless, but expensive too. So there's a lot of things that you can do. You can set some intentions. You can do, even if you think about this, one-to-one networking is time consuming. Now, granted, you may have time, but eventually it becomes really time consuming. So think of innovative ways that you could do this. I always like the idea of a triad where it's you and two other people. And especially beneficial if these two people are somewhat related or could potentially do business with each other, or there's just some commonality in that process. And if you've all three have these things, then meeting in these triads gives somebody the opportunity to stop talking during the conversation, number one. But it also introduces people. Again, you're paying it forward. And when people go, oh, how did y'all meet? It'll be, oh, Leslie introduced us. We had this great virtual coffee with her, virtual tea, happy hours, whatever you might like it to be. But there's a lot of opportunity for you to find these creative, inexpensive ways to develop your relationships so that your business continues to grow, at least stabilize at this point in time, be prepared for when things start to come back. So that's pretty much my thoughts for you today. Thanks, Ebony, for chiming in. I love it when we get comments in there. It makes it fun for me. One of the reasons I love speaking, I mean, really, I'm kind of addicted to it, in real audiences, I don't care how big or how small, is I get to have the conversation, right? We get to have questions and answers, and I can see your face when I say something. I'm like, that worked. I was like, that made an impact. So I want you to feel free to comment here. If you're watching this and it's not live, please comment away. I'm getting notifications about it, so it'll be easy for me to kind of give you a response. And then if you'll notice in the post, there's actually a live notification. My child, it's not the child, it's the cat. Hold on. The cat's trying to get out and he can't get out. So he's sitting here banging at the door until he can get out. There's a link at the bottom. This is what today's been like, guys. Oh my gosh. There's a link at the bottom of the post that you can get live notifications. So that's all that'll do. It'll say, hey, she's gone live, or hey, you missed the live and here's the link so you can watch it. That way you don't miss anything. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you're having some fun and safe family fun this weekend as we head to July 4th. Goodness gracious me, it's July. Where has it all gone? So I'll be back tomorrow later in the day because we are driving. We're going to take a little weekend trip. So I'll be driving for most of the day tomorrow, but I will be pick you up in where we are and show you kind of the locale that we're going to be at. Again, it's going to be safe. Don't worry, but we need to change of pace. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.